Making sure we are live on YouTube.
Yes.
Just announcing to my Facebook friends that we are live for our Coffee Talk with Christelle. Happy Thursday, 2/19. Interesting. I have an amazing day, and I'm excited about the topics I will be covering today. Market updates and also strategies for using the equity in your home. So join me. The Zoom link is going to be provided, whether you are watching this live or when you get this later on today. But you can join me every Thursday about 9:30. I say about 9:30 as I do my live and updates, as well as speak to you, my self-employed, my investors, my those who have equity in their home. You want to talk about strategies and how to utilize the funds that are in your equity. Join me on this call, and thank you so much. See you there. Okay. Oh. Let's get started with this market update. So, first step. Well, second, before I tell you, rates are sitting in the low 6% range. So the Fed commentary says affordability hasn't dramatically improved. And there's talk of banks becoming more aggressive in mortgage lending again. But this is actually all surface level information. The real question is, what does this market reward? It is not a panic market. It is not a frenzy market. It's a positioning market. And positioning markets reward liquidity, structure, clarity, and decisive capital, not waiting. If you're a homeowner with equity, an investor, you're self-employed, or you're in transition, this market doesn't demand perfection. It demands strategy. So I'm going to go into a scenario for you with Emilio. Let me show you what strategy looks like. Emilio, he has $187,000 in equity. He has a 555 credit score. He has a few small recent collections, which is why the credit score dropped, but the mortgage and the vehicles, actually, they always paid on time. And he wants to invest into another project. Traditional advice would say, wait. Well, his first question was, can I actually use the equity by doing a HELOC? No, the scores is too low. But he's open to actually sell his house. So we're not going to wait. We're not going to fix the credit. We're not going to put 20% down. We're not going to come back in 6 months. He actually doesn't have the funds, really the liquidity to go into fixing the credit and waiting. So that advice that most lenders would say to protect themselves, we're not going to go there. He wants momentum. He wants decisions now. He is ready now. So Emilio is not wanting to wait. He's wanting movement now. Liquidity is preserved. His debt cleaned strategically. And we're going to purchase contingent on the sale of his house. So this is how I have this structure for him. FHA 10% down. So people would say, well, he has so much equity, why not 20%? Well, he has other projects, so it's not for everybody to put 20%. But for FHA with a score as his, we do need to put 10% down. And FHA is manageable and mortgage insurance, so no worries there. We're going to consolidate his debts. We're going to pay off all of his debts and improve his monthly cash flow. So now he can buy a home that has a multi-family structure. We're going to preserve his capital for the next project. So he's not chasing rate, but he's still getting rates in the sixes, but he's not chasing rate. He is using his capital. The question isn't, what's the best rate for me, Christelle? It's actually, how can I utilize? What structure supports my next move? How can I utilize the funds that I have in this home. I have good income, just got into a situation where don't have as much liquidity right now to improve my credit, but I'm ready to move. $187,000. That's a lot that we can do with. So are you making decisions based on your credit score shame or based on opportunity costs? I want you to think about this because he knew from the beginning, Christelle, my credit is not the best. But I'm like, you have the capital and you have income still coming in. So we have solutions. So if you have equity and you are unsure how to deploy it strategically, let's model the options before you actually move the money. And that's what we did with Emilio. So if you're in a very similar scenario, not necessarily a lower credit score, but you have equity and you are unsure, let's go ahead and click on my bio and you will get information to book a call with me. Let's talk strategy. Sometimes the issue isn't the interest rate. It's timing and math. DJ has a 2.99% interest rate, finances property for him in 2020, 2021, I think. He does have a divorce in motion. He needs to give his wife at least $30,000. The servicer is offering a loan assumption. I'm like, that's a great interest rate. You might want to do that and let's go ahead and do a line of credit so you can give her the money. But his qualification won't work because of his income. So emotionally, he wants to keep the house. He would love to. But mathematically, it doesn't serve him. So the strategy is shifted. We're going to sell, we're going to capture the equity, and we're going to reposition cleanly. Because in transitions, like a divorce, liquidity actually beats attachment. So we are exploring a bridge structure through a NOC program. There are other programs. So if you have any questions, we can definitely talk about what is the best scenario for you. But we're going to use the NOC program. We're going to access the equity before he sells. We're going to actually take the property off his name for a small fee. And now he can qualify better. And he doesn't have to do a contingency. He has a down payment that is secure because we're taking it from the equity through this company. And we can do a recasting feature after the sale, which means, well, he could have all this money he can deposit, right, Christelle, and lower the payment so he has a better cash flow. Yes. So once he sells the house, so he gets money up front for the down payment, he buys the house. Once the house actually sells through the NOC program, we can go ahead and take that money and dump it into the principal and do what's called a recasting feature. The payment is recalculated without doing a refinance. Most lenders won't tell you. They will put you into another refinance to take that money and remove the MI or go ahead and lower the interest rate. If it makes sense, we will do that. But right away, we don't always have to do a refinance because there are costs to do a refinance. So we'll do a recasting feature. So this isn't about winning the house. It's about protecting long-term stability. I want you to reflect on this. Are you protecting your ego or protecting capital? When I say that, is the emotion. It's like, I win the house. I want to keep the house. I want that emotional versus are we actually protecting the capital and looking at the numbers and making sense of them? So if you're in transition, a divorce, a relocation, a job change, and you review the equity before emotion drives your decision, let's go ahead and talk. Let's have the right strategy in place for you in this transition. Looking forward to connecting with you for your structure. I'm actually moving pretty fast in those topics because I'm really clear of who needs to talk to listen to this. Those who have equity in their home and it's probably more money than they even had when they actually purchased a home. Many of my clients were first-time buyers or move-up buyers who had maybe 5-10%, and now they find themselves with this amount of equity. What do? How do I use it? Do I put all of it back on this new purchase? And I'll tell you, it's based on your goals, not based on what is best, because I think it's also a combination of your goals along with, okay, how do we capitalize what you have gained through the equity in your home? So that's called preparation. And this market rewards prepared borrowers, prepared buyers, prepared those who are in a great position, but sometimes there are investors or there are self-employed. So let me talk to you, my investors. This is not speculation season, it's underwriting season. The rent comps, does it make sense when we do your DSCR analysis, your debt service ratio? And this is not about the property. This is not about your qualification as far as your debt to income ratio. It is the property cash flow. Okay, if you've never heard of this term before, DSCR, go ahead and connect with me. Let me show you how DSCR works so we don't have to get you qualified based on your income, that'd be self-employed or W-2. This is based on the property cash flow. It has to make sense. It's about the numbers. And then also your exit planning. Is this going to be a property that you're going to keep and you have it as a rent cash flow for the next few years? Or is this a property that you are going to go ahead and put back on the market and do a fix and flip? Now, for my self-employed borrowers, the biggest mistake I see is in the income. It's assumption, assuming you won't qualify. But my tax returns, I have a loss. Oh, my tax returns, the accountant is really making sure I don't have to pay the IRS. Okay, totally great. Assuming you need 20% down, or assuming your tax strategy hurts you. So let's start with the assumptions. Let's go ahead and connect because there are multiple qualification paths. And actually, you can go ahead and comment right here on this link, as well as other links that we're going to provide. Share on Facebook and Instagram for those of you who are self-employed and making all those assumptions. I have a guide. Go ahead and put structure, and I'll share that with you. Because reviewing your income structure before filing taxes, we are February 19th, April 15th. We still have time. You can talk to your accountant. You can send me your taxes. I can review and say, well, maybe we can qualify you for traditional loan using your taxes, or go ahead and write off all that you need to write off. We'll use your bank statements. We'll use your 1099. There are so many amazing ways right now for self-employed. It's been for a while, but it's more common now. And because many of you will have equity in your home, you can put 10% down. I actually have some with less than 10% down. So based on your scenario, we can talk about what is the best structure for you. So let's review the structure of your taxes, of your bank statements, and let's see what's the best scenario for you. I don't want you to really hope that it works out later. So don't hit send, submit to the IRS until we actually speak. Let's see what's the best scenario for you. So if you're self-employed and you want clarity on how lenders will read your income, like I said a second ago, message structure, and I'll send you the breakdown because there are different scenarios based on how you have actually reported your income. So, gosh, this was pretty quick. I'm usually a little bit longer, but it's okay because I want to go to the point of this week's headlines. They give us context to share about Emilio's, how his liquidity allows him to move forward now versus delaying work on credit and all this. DJ shows us math over emotion, and this market keeps moving something simple. Clarity beats the noise. Structure beats the rate shopping. And capital, when sequenced properly, becomes leverage. So I don't sell mortgages. I actually don't sell. I educate, but I also give you structure over your capital. So let me help you structure capital. If you want to review your structure, book a session with me and we'll talk about what's the best structure for you. Looking forward for that strategy. The link is in my bio, as well as you can state structure, and we'll send you a guide for us to connect and speak more about your scenario. So this really closes out for today on this section when I give you market updates, where I give you scenario that took place this week for me that I think would be powerful for you to hear about. And this is where I go into this last section, which is the mystical moment. I call it mystical moment. It's really part of my identity, part of who Christelle is, that deep breath, which I do before I get on this live, but this is my moment to connect with you. And I had this morning, of course, if you're not into the mystical, into the who kind of thing, you can drop off now. But if you are and you're curious, it won't hurt. It's actually just great way to go within, to connect, to love. That was my topic last week, was love. Of course, it was Valentine. But we are in a new season, actually. So before I go into this next topic, which I have a feeling of what it's going to be about, but I actually want to connect right now, in the moment, in the now, in the present. Even if this is a replay for you, this is what comes through for me. Not structured into the mortgage talk. This is just what's present for me right now. So I want you to take a couple of deep breaths with me. Deep breath in and exhaling through open mouth, which is to let go, releasing what is no longer serving, even letting go of what we just talked about. Start feeling your shoulders dropping some. And we've talked every time about grounding. We need to definitely ground, acknowledging Mother Earth, Gaia, the gravity that we have connecting to the earth. That's what keeps us into gravity. We don't think about it, but it is there. And then connecting to infinite intelligence, to wisdom, to God, to source, to really that higher self, the infinite and conditional love energy, the field of pure love, divinity, all of those. Use the word that best resonates with you. And even if you don't connect with that specifically, think of love. Love for self, love of others, love of our neighbors. And coming to that place of centering to the heart. And what is the topic that I get to share with you today? I guess it kind of had a little hint of this is going to be the topic because I am still in the island, and Lent, being Catholic, raised Catholic, Lent is definitely something that Christians talk about. And even if you're non-Christian or not practicing like myself in that aspect of religion, it is a great time of 40 days of making a commitment that be of heightening self-love. And I would say that in the sense of you get to choose. That could be about food, that could be about exercising, some of the physical. It could be 40 days of fasting in increments. All those are still physical, but it's also with an intention to raise our connection to the higher frequency. And for me, I spoke to my mom who went and got her ashes at the church yesterday on her forehead. I listed so many things that came through as to the things that I get to let go of or the things that I get to focus on. So I don't really have yet that one thing, but I do have a feeling of how I would like it to shift to me, whatever that's going to be, that one thing, that focus or that letting go. And I'll give you an analogy or an example of something that has naturally just lifted it off of me. So I love coffee. Okay. Love a warm drink in the morning. But I'm also used to be someone who would love a cocktail that would be like a vodka cocktail base, because vodka with coffee or vodka with, because of vodka just was easy for me to digest or not get hangover per se. But I'm not a drinker per se of like I have to have a drink every day. Um, but if I will go with friends, and I do like champagne. So those are some drinks that, at the end of the day, I was like, hey, mostly for Lauderdale, we're doing by the beach. I was like, let me just go down for happy hour. They have some nice cocktail, lychee martini. Like I have some of those drinks that I just love. We're hanging out with friends, have a nice drink. And my journey in sacred places, although I would actually go to a bar and just have a nice drink just to connect with the community, somehow I even bought a bottle of wine. I said, I'll just have it there, Cabernet, just in case I have a desire for a sip. And that desire really never came to open that bottle of wine. One, because my body and listening to my body, because the more in tune we are and grounded, kind of feel like, it's making me wake up in the middle of the night around 3 or 4 o'clock. So my liver is having a hard time digesting it. So as I keep on loving myself deeper and deeper, I naturally let it go. It's like I don't really want and I actually love a Cabernet that savor. But I don't have an attraction or desire to have a drink. And it's not like I'm forcing myself not to. It's just naturally just not pulling me in that direction of like, oh, I have a craving for it. So I say that to say my intention is and my prayer is the things are not necessarily in best alignment for them to really fall off, right? Fall off. So I no longer have that pull, that magnet to it. So maybe that could be the thing for you for Lent. What is that one thing that would be great? It would just fall off. Not by making it wrong, not by making others wrong. Just, I no longer have a cord attached to it or a magnet connected to it. And I say that because it makes it so much easier. Like even with my family. So I had an uncle who recently retired. There's champagne, there's drinks and everything. I did have one, so I'm not saying like I'm stopping myself. It's more of like, doesn't do really anything for me. And I don't have a craving. It's really that big part. Oh, I have a craving for a lychee martini. So that doesn't mean I won't have it. Again, it just fell off of a desire. So desires can sometimes be, I'm not going to use the word of sin and all of those. It's more of something that's keeping us trapped. This thing that's keeping us trapped. I would say one of mine is bread. I am trapped with bread. I don't know how, and I do have that desire of maybe that could be the one as I'm sharing this with you that falls off, and I don't have to have a croissant or chocolate croissant or bread, like half a baguette with butter, with cheese and all that, and just so I can feel alive as a French person. So now, is this really spiritual? For me, it's learning what is keeping me trapped. So all those beliefs that we may have keeping us trapped, all of those addictions, even coffee, right? Keeping us trapped. Because if I don't have a coffee now, I will probably have a headache. So all of that, it's in this season of Lent, is for me, I'm actually going to most likely write in my journal what are all those things that are keeping me trapped. Doesn't mean I'm going to remove all of them because I'm also having experience. I do enjoy a cup of coffee. I do enjoy my bread. I do enjoy a lychee martini, but where I don't feel trapped by it. And a byproduct of also health-wise, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. Because if physically we're not feeling well, I'm not going to meditate as well. I'm not going to be as at peace. My nervous system is going to be triggered. So that is what's coming up for me when it comes to the decision or the choice of how we're going to take on this 40 days of season. And I don't know if I'm going to review more of those with you. This is just the beginning, so this is what come up. So I'm going to give myself and invite you for this, I'll say the sake of just the fact that we're live, but I'm going to go ahead and reflecting on how to go best about this. And what's coming up is connect with what I just shared with you and only allow what is in best alignment for you. It could be Christelle is totally full of, you know what? Whatever she just said makes no sense. I'm not even interested. This is totally fine. But if it did spark something in you where, you know what? I don't know yet what I want to let go of, But why don't I just go ahead and keep this a moment? So I'm not going to speak for a moment. I just want to connect with the energy, with the field. So that means setting the intention that I get to receive an answer. And it may not be coming right away. It could come in a movie, it could come in a conversation with someone else, but let's be quiet for a moment and let through the intention of this is the intention. And this is timeless. Meaning at any time you see this, it could be at day 40 of Lent. May I connect and may you connect with the place, the thing, the event, anything and everything is possible to choose from what would be in my environment, my circumstances, in myself. And let's stick with that. What is it in myself that would be of my greatest service to focus on accepting with the intention of letting it fall off with no attachment? And accepting means not resisting. Oh, I don't want this. It's accepting. I love bread. I love this. And there's an attachment. How do I disconnect from that attachment and allow it to be bread, not my attachment? So, in this intention, bringing forth one thing that as I focus on it can dismantle so much around me. Dismantling meaning less attachment to so many other things, that ripple effect. Let me use the example of bread. Bread, okay, my body will respond differently. My way of looking like I'm 12 months pregnant. I know they're not 12 months to be pregnant, but really just constantly pregnant because that belly just holds on to the carbs. Like all of that effect, but also a new relationship with it, right? So setting the intention of what is coming forth as one thing that I can take on right now by accepting I do have a love for it or have an affinity for it, and for myself, whatever it is, that by detaching, I'm retraining my brain, retraining my nervous system, retraining my ecosystem, retraining my whole beingness in a new relationship with it. And take a deep breath and allow yourself to just be in the moment of receiving. There could be so many thoughts that could be coming, but setting the intention. I invite you to come back and even take a pen and paper. Write the first thing that comes to mind for the next 40 days. And I'll share with you what came up for me is for the next 40 days is that reaction and response. I shared before, anything that comes in place in our face, a trigger specifically, what a gift. So that's my commitment. What a gift. So it's letting go and to fall off with the what a gift, filling my space with what a gift. Allows me to not be as reactive to situations, to people, to what doesn't work out, what works out. It's really what a gift. And that's my intention, to be more in, as quantitative, more in, to be fully into what a gift. Inviting that what a gift mantra. Waking up, what a gift. Being on this live with you, what a gift. Receiving a message from you, what a gift. Receiving a nasty message, what the heck is she doing? What a gift. Because that is a way for me to alchemize, to transmute everything into a gift, a gratitude, because there's an experience, there's a lesson, there's something there. So what a gift. What a gift that we have social media and we have YouTube. What a gift that we can share our voice. What a gift that we can be as authentic, not in just words, but in showing up in embodiment. What a gift to have Thursdays for me to be live and not to really be scripted so I can be consistent in sharing the messages that I am receiving in my field. The messages that I want to really inspire into loving self, to loving our neighbor, to loving life. And that is my own journey as well. So the things that I share are not necessarily something that I'm not preaching. I'm sharing that experience. And what a gift. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be on your phone device, on your computer. Would love to hear from you. What a gift. Thank you.